Ilya, I want you to walk people through this. Please take your time. What happened with you in Georgetown from the very beginning? What happened?
Sure. I'd been at the Cato Institute, the nation's leading libertarian think tank, for nearly 15 years. Thought I'd have a change of pace, a new challenge, and a different way of impacting the world of public affairs. Got a job from Georgetown Law School to be their executive director of the Center for the Constitution, which is kind of good because most of the rest of the law school is the center against the Constitution. So at least there's that. A few days before I was set to begin my work at Georgetown, the end of January, when Justice Breyer's retirement leaked, I started doing media, as you know, given that I'm an expert, and as you showed, wrote the book on the subject of Supreme Court politics. And late that night, as not a good practice, I was doom scrolling my Twitter feed in a hotel room in Austin, Texas, and was really upset. I have always been upset about Joe Biden's pledge to restrict his selection pool by race and sex, famously reiterating his pledge to appoint a black woman. I criticized him on Twitter and went to bed. I woke up and there was a firestorm. My political opponents had screen capped my tweet, which I quickly deleted because I didn't want to cause confusion and foment the mob. But there it is. You have it on your screen. And those three words there in the middle, lesser black woman, is what got me in trouble, as those who wanted to foment outrage against me and call for my firing, used that to call me a bigot and a sexist and all the rest of it. Eventually, the dean decided, Bill Traynor decided that I could be onboarded at Georgetown, but immediately suspended with pay, pending investigation into whether my tweet violated the university's harassment and discrimination policies. 4 months later, I mean, they were, investigating very thoroughly here with an outside law firm they were paying a lot of money to. They realized, somebody looked at a calendar and discovered that I had not been an employee when I tweeted, and so it wasn't even covered by these policies. So I celebrated that technical victory. This is almost 2 weeks ago now. But when I looked into the report that later hit my inbox from the Orwellian-named Office of Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, and Affirmative Action, the inquisitors who were investigating me, their detailed 10-page report made clear that if I said anything in the future that offended someone, or someone claimed to be offended or felt uncomfortable, that would create a hostile educational environment, and I would again be subject to discipline. I could not do my job under that circumstance. I came to realize in consultation with my lawyer, some other trusted advisors, my wife, who's a better lawyer than all of us, and so I had to resign. And so I put together a detailed bill of indictments of the law school of Georgetown itself for fomenting and enforcing an illiberal regime that not only had, subverts its own vaunted free expression policy, but applies it unequally. And I gave examples of how left-wing professors had tweeted without being, far more inflammatory things than I did, without being investigated or disciplined, which was the correct call. They shouldn't have been, and neither should have I. And so I gave further examples of things I could say in talking about Supreme Court opinions or teaching a class on sensitive legal issues, and all of a sudden someone complains and I'm back in the Star Chamber. So I couldn't do that. I had to resign, announced my resignation in the pages of the Wall Street Journal, and away we went. That was about a week and a half ago. Now, luckily, I have had friends and allies all throughout this process, individuals, organizations, and one of these is the Manhattan Institute, where I am very fortunate to be joining them as their director of constitutional studies. But I'm trying to use this moment, this spotlight, including your show, Jesse, to show the rot at the heart of Georgetown and academia more broadly.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Che Guevara, the latest episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.